What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm about to go into my hole or whatever. But Machiavelli Mills TV, y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in. Let's talk about Trevone Boykin, Russell Wilson, Sierra, and this whole crazy situation that he brought up on a podcast. It's really not crazy. The situation isn't. He made it something crazy, and now people are looking at him in his past. And this is what happens when you bring attention to yourself with ridiculous comments and ridiculous stories. You know what I mean? Dark Samurai, what's going on, man? What's the word, boss? How you feeling? Hold on, y'all. What's the word, y'all? What's going on? Y'all come on in here, gather on in here real quick. We're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna have a conversation about this because this whole thing is just like it's his comments are weird for several reasons. I mean, I've been all right, man. I've been all good, man. I can't complain too much. I'm gonna wait till a few more of y'all come in here first before I go on my whole little soliloquy. I'm gonna let a few of y'all come on in here, say what's up to me in the chat as y'all come on in. I appreciate it if y'all talk to me, I talk back. But we're gonna talk about. I'm not gonna hold y'all for a long time. We're gonna get into the topic. I'm just gonna wait till about 2 more minutes before I start get going in on the topic. Go James, what's happening with you, man? How you feeling, boss? Man, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. From Mississippi, what's happening? You know, I went to Mississippi Valley State University and it's a being in Mississippi in the Mississippi Delta. So I spent 4 years in Mississippi. What part of Mississippi you from, Butterfly? Shout out to Mississippi, man. That's my home away from home. He said, cool. And I saw what dude said. It is crazy, man. Black Mall, what's the word, my dog? What's happening, Slim? I'm good, bro. I can't complain too much, man. I wanted to get on here and talk about this topic, man, before I got to go to work tonight. Chop it up with y'all while I feel like, some of y'all were still up and active and around, and willing to hop on a live stream with me real quick. I know some people may be watching football and whatnot. We're gonna get into the topic, but give me like again 1 or 2 more minutes. I'm gonna let it build up a little bit, and we're gonna go into it. Uh Y'all listen to anybody in the live stream, say what's up in the chat. Talk to me in the chat real quick so we can let the time go by. You said a few miles outside of Jackson. Okay, got you. Shout out. You said a few miles outside. Where you at? What's over there by Jack? Not Clinton, not Canton, Mississippi. I think Canton is close to Jackson. Clinton. Where's Mississippi College at? In Clinton? My dog said you better get off at 6. Okay. Got you. You an hour ahead of us in Chicago. Y'all on that Eastern time. Right. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar all the way. Like I said, I was really down in Itabena. I was in the Delta for 4 years, so I got pretty acclimated to Mississippi very well. Vicksburg. Nah, Vicksburg not by Jackson from what I know. My grandmother's sister lives in Vicksburg, actually. I only been to Vicksburg like once though. And that was when I came to visit Mississippi Valley State during college orientation time. But all right, y'all. We about 5 minutes in. So Trevone Boykin, let's talk about who Trevone Boykin is. A lot of people are like, who the hell is that? Trevone Boykin is a former backup quarterback in the NFL. He was a backup quarterback, Russell Wilson's backup quarterback in Seattle for the Seattle Seahawks during the 2016-2017 NFL season, right? So he was a rookie. He only played that 1 year, actually, right? So he was a rookie. And pretty much during that time, a lot of the veteran players on professional sports teams, they will invite the rookies to their home during the holidays. Thanksgiving, a lot of times they got to be with the team or whatever. They know the rookies may not have a family or may not have enough money to have all 8 people around them. So they will invite the rookies to their home. That's what Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson say, you know what? I'm gonna invite Trevone to my house, considering Trevone is his backup, and he's a young rookie, young kid. So he invites him to his home on Thanksgiving. Trevone gets to the house and he gets on a podcast and talks about the day he was invited to Russell Wilson's home for Thanksgiving. He starts talking about how weird the environment was and how, his family wasn't there. His mama wasn't there. Russell Wilson's sisters wasn't there. The only people that was there was Sierra's mama, Sierra's father, the kids, baby Future, and 3 of the dogs and 2 nannies or whatever, right? And he was just like, it's weird. It's weird. Where I'm from, we gonna do the fool. And if I got the money that he got, all my family gonna be at my house, especially if you got a deal, an endorsement with the airline, right? Like I didn't even know Russell Wilson had a endorsement with the airlines. I didn't even know that, right? But he like, if you got a plug with the airlines and all of that, my people they gonna be all at my house. We all gonna be together all around each other. So I find it weird. It's just weird to me that his family wasn't around like that. And one of the guys on the podcast says, what if he isn't close to his family? And he said he could not be close to his family. But it's weird to me. It's just a weird environment. It's a weird situation for me. That's weird for me to see, because we gonna cut up. All my family, we going wherever. Whoever got the most money, that's who house we at, and that's how it's gonna go down. And then he starts talking about baby Future being bad as hell and being real bad and all of that. And he said, he was a kid, but I think maybe he was aware of who his mom is and who his dad is, and he was aware that he was spoiled, and he was bad and all of that. He's like, he's probably different now that he's older, but he was a little spoiled and he was bad and all of that. And yeah, and it was just like, the whole time I'm talking, I'm like, see, this is why people don't be inviting folks to their house right here, because of shit like that. If I, as a man, invite you into my home with my family, with my wife, my kids, my in-laws, like, I expect for you to just be respectful. Why are you going on podcasts talking about my family dynamic and it was weird when I invited you into my home? That's personal. When somebody invites you into their house, you know what I mean? Like, that is around their family, around their kids. That's like, come on, man. That's the thing that should be respected for real. So, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm looking like you in here talking about his mama wasn't there and his family wasn't there. Why you worried about where his family at? Why wasn't you with your family during Thanksgiving? It's weird that his family wasn't around, but you wasn't with your family. So yeah, that's crazy. And again, the man took the courtesy of inviting you to his house. Then you talking about his son. I know some of y'all gonna say that ain't his real son. Whatever. He calls him his real son. You know what I mean? You talking about his son bad as hell and all this and all of that. Like, bro, what is we doing? Like, nah, fam. That's not the move to be making. I think that whole thing was just corny to me. But I know how this podcast and stuff goes. You got to say the most salacious things to get clicks and views. But I think somebody's family life and home life should be off limits, especially when they invited you into they place of residence. You know what I'm saying? To their place of residence. Like, you don't know what could have been going on. They could have had to go somewhere else during Thanksgiving to a family member's house for some reason, and Russ couldn't make it because he playing football or whatever. Like, to say that, oh, that's weird. I just think it's just like, it was him trying to go out of his way to call. Y'all know Russ get the corny label. Right, exactly, bro. It was just a way of him trying to go out of his way to call Russ corny at another point. Like just trying to call him corny at another turn. Like, damn. Like this really weird to you that his people wasn't there? They probably wasn't there for a reason. If you follow Russell Wilson, his mom and them love him, man. They had probably had something going on, but to be in here talking about his son bad as hell and it was all a whole weird dynamic and like, bro, nah. And again, he said Russell got to put hands on homeboy from the sound of it. It's just like, what we doing? Speaking of putting hands on people, when you find out the reason why Trevone Boykin only lasted 1 year in the NFL, he got released by the Seattle Seahawks because he broke his girlfriend's jaw, right? In a domestic violence situation. He broke his girlfriend's jaw and had to go to jail. And when they saw that, they said, absolutely not. You got to get your ass up out of here. You putting your hands on your old lady, you got to go. Right? So for all of this weird that, why are you breaking your girlfriend's jaw, bro? That's absolutely weird and absolutely just ridiculous. That's egregious. And I agree, bro. He say, my dog say we too old to be trying to be cool, especially at our age. Like, come on, fam. And like, how do he not, like, how does he know that, maybe Russ family had something else going on. They had to visit another family member at another location and couldn't come to their home that year. You don't know what's going on. Just be grateful that he opened up his home to you, considering the fact that you're a rookie and you may not have the money to fly all your people in right now. Just consider the fact that, just be grateful that he invited you into his home. And when I'm in somebody else's home, around some other people's family, I'm not disrespecting them, talking about whatever their family business is or whatever I saw in their house on a podcast. I come in your house, you invite me in your home around your people. I'm not talking about what I seen with your family and all of that and talking about your kids bad as hell. I'm not, like, no, especially on a public platform, but I know why he told that story, because he knows it's going to get a lot of views and clicks. But I just think stuff like that is rather distasteful. 100%. It's very distasteful. And that's why Russell, you know what? I used to say to myself, like, damn, like, man, why Russ don't be clicking with some teammates? And probably because some dudes be trying to pull shit like that. Right now, I was in my mind. I remember when Marshawn Lynch spoke about Russell Wilson, him not having Russell Wilson's number, and Russell calling him from a block number. And I'm like, man, I'm like, that's strange. Why would Russ do that? But I guess with situations like this, he probably could tell, like, some people are untrustworthy, and Marshawn Lynch may not be at all. But when you got Trevone Boykin as your own backup, you feel me? Like, your own backup is pulling shit like that. Like, dog, like, I want to see you win. I'm trying to help your development. I open my home to you. You come running your mouth about, oh, this was weird up in his house. Well, goddamn it, you better not ever expect to be greeted by Russell Wilson in public. None of that ever again. Just be comfortable with that. Because now he over playing in some a Mexican football league somewhere and all of that, because he messed up his opportunity by putting hands on his girlfriend, breaking his girlfriend's jaw. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I saw that. I'm like, bro, this is lame. This is very lame. And he trying to get clicks and views for the podcast, and at the same time, you in here being disrespectful. So yeah, I had to get on and talk about it, because I was like, what? Again, I don't even remember Buddy at all. So I had to go do my research and find out who he is. He played at TCU, Texas Christian University. He from like Mesquite, Texas, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Right? Played through 145. He played 1 year. Through 145 passing yards in that 1 year, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Charlie X. He talking about it was weird that Russ family wasn't around, his mama and them wasn't there. Why weren't you with your family then, brother? Why weren't you with your people? Zero, what's going on with you, boss dog? So I'm like, this is why Russ be standoffish right here with people. And this is why everybody don't allow people into their home, because of stuff like this. Because I'm telling you right now, man, dog, like the wrong person I mean, I don't know what he is, but yeah, like stuff like that could go to a level it don't even need to go to. It don't even need to go to. Go James say, Mac, you notice that since Russ' career hasn't been the same as his glory days, ML's been trying to take shot after shot. Absolutely. Like, even with people talking about he's ruined his Hall of Fame chances. Like, I've never seen nobody play themselves out of the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like he's an easy target for people. So people feel like, let me just go ahead and say something about him. Because I promise you, if you saw the same dynamic at Marshawn Lynch house, he not saying nothing about Marshawn Lynch. I guarantee that. He wouldn't say nothing about Marshawn Lynch if he saw the same thing at Marshawn Lynch house. So he said he went to Earl Thomas' house after the fact, and I think he spoke about Earl Thomas' family dynamic being different, and it was live or something like that. But let's just say Earl Thomas had the situation he saw at Russell Wilson's house. He wouldn't say that about Earl Thomas because he know Earl Thomas going to choke him out. Right? So I'm saying brothers be knowing who to say certain stuff about and who not to say certain stuff about. You know, sometimes you be feeling like, man, Russ going to have to slap somebody or knock somebody out. But then you don't want the brother losing his money, especially over Trevone Boykin. Like it's certain other individuals that say crazy stuff about him. Like, man, go on, get your paper. Who cares if you a backup now? You spent the majority of your career as a starter, doing your thing, being in MVP conversations consistently. For the years after the Legion of Boom was over with, Russ was holding down fort, improvising. Right after the snap, improvising, making stuff happen with Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett and Golden Tate as his receivers. You know? So yeah, man, like it's crazy. But I do think people are, now that they're seeing him struggle and have his struggles, this is the time to say certain stuff about him, because people were saying stuff about him when he was up. But yeah, man, like you said, Black Maul, every man got a breaking point. Every man got a breaking point, which is why I wasn't even mad initially at Kwame Brown when he went at Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. I say, man, look, every man got a breaking point and a man got a right to defend himself. So I wasn't mad at him going at the people that was talking about him. I got mad at him going at other people like had nothing to do with what he was saying. Like LeBron James ain't never said nothing about him. He just started going attacking LeBron. And I got mad at Kwame for being MAGA like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? While also saying he's advocating for the black athletes and the black folks. And get up out of here. But anyway, I didn't have a problem with Kwame Brown defending himself initially because I understood it, right? Russ gonna probably have a moment where he gonna slap somebody. He gonna have a moment where he gonna have to whoop somebody for real. And then they're gonna say, well, damn, Russ, you ain't have to do him like that. Because Russell Wilson is not a soft dude. I mean, he spent his life getting chased by linebackers, defensive linemen trying to take his head off. You know, he's not a soft dude by any stretch of the imagination. Playing that position, you cannot be soft. In the NFL, especially, you cannot be soft. And being a starter and winning the Super Bowl and being in MVP conversations the way that Russell Wilson has. You know, I just think he thinks a lot of this shit is very trivial, very childish, very silly stuff, right? But it's going to come to a point, people are going to say the wrong thing. He going to see somebody outside and he going to have to slap him. He going to slap him for real. You say, what's up? Is people take shots at Russ for who he is, but if he tries to be hood, then they would say he's front. Absolutely. Right? Said Mac only cuss when the situation truly grinds his gears. No, bro. Like, why you it's certain stuff. He said as soon as Kwame mentioned Brian, Mac was done with him. No, bro, I promise you, I was done with him when I already I saw the Breonna Taylor comments and I saw the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I know what's going on with this dude. And I actually had spoke about the stuff that I saw even before he came at Braun. But when he came at Braun, I was like, oh man, that's cowardly, because you ain't even coming at the people who's saying something about you, right? You ain't even coming at people, the people who really been punking you your whole life. But yeah, no, as it pertains to Trevone Boykin, yeah, man, I just think when somebody invites you into their house, that's really a personal thing. Because if I got you around my family, my kids, you know what I mean? Like I really take that serious. I don't just be bringing people around my kids. Y'all see them on here, but I do not be having people in a space like that. I really don't. Like people that if you in a space, you really somebody that I consider really like close to me, somebody that I really value, somebody that I really trust. So I'm sure Russell Wilson didn't account for Trevone Boykin one day calling him weird and his family dynamic weird because his family wasn't there at the Thanksgiving dinner. And Russ didn't account for him calling Lil Future bad as hell and all that. Like, man, what? Yeah, man, it's just certain stuff I wouldn't do. And even if you got those sentiments, keep that stuff to yourself. Certain shit you shouldn't even be. Certain stuff is certain stuff that I will never discuss on this platform. And sometimes stuff would make for good content, but I understand, nah, bro, I don't need to be touching that. I need to leave that where it is. You know what I'm saying? Leave that where it's at. And some people, they can't help themselves. They want to just go viral so bad. They want clicks and views so bad that they gonna just go ahead and go and take it and run with it. You know? So yeah, Black Maul, what Black Maul say? As long as Russell Wilson doesn't pull a Will Smith and slap a weak dude. Yeah, nah, but as it pertains to Russ, I don't think he gonna do it to just anybody. I think, yeah, any people after a while is gonna start like to where he gonna be like, yo, this getting crazy. Charlie X said they just thirsty for a moment. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that 100%. But yeah, man, who raised you? Who raised you? Bianca Hurst said, can we admit Russell is not corny? A lot of guys hate me pull Sierra. What it is that this, Bianca, a lot of dudes didn't they never accounted for Russell Wilson taking Sierra. Like they feel like Russell, he didn't take Sierra from Future because she wasn't with Future anymore. But in their eyes, how could this girl that Future had also like Russell Wilson? You know, they feel like Sierra, once you be with a dude, these dudes they be having parasocial relationships with these with these entertainers. They be feeling like they are one with these rappers and certain people, right? So in certain dudes' eyes, how could she like a cool guy like Russell and then a cool guy like Future and not like and like a corny guy like Russell? How could she go from liking a cool guy like Future and then talking to and dating a corny guy like Russ? Because Russ doesn't exhibit the swagger of the average inner city black man, right? So a lot of them felt a way that, oh my God, how was he able to get hurt? Right? And it's some shit like personally, certain things, it was some stuff I experienced to a certain degree, right? Like I have the swagger of an inner city black man because I grew up in the inner city, right? I grew up in Southside Chicago, right? But it was dudes who did was they were street. They had all the latest designer clothes. You know what I'm saying? They was in the street. Like I said, they was affiliated with certain gangs or whatever. They carried themselves a certain way, and they felt like that certain girls should be off limits to me, because I wasn't in the streets like them. I wasn't smoking and drinking like them. I wasn't out here trying to be something I wasn't like them. So how dare I be able to get the same girl that they like, right? How dare a girl that they like or take interest in like me? Because I'm not cool enough, because I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't cool enough to be able to get them girls, right? So, and it's the same situation where it's heightened with Russ because Russ doesn't have the swagger of an inner city black man. And he didn't grow up around black people. So in their eyes, how dare Sierra go from Future to him? How dare she pull that off? How dare she do that? You know what I'm saying? So this is a lot of that going on too. You know, how dare he be able to pull her? And it's a lot of weird stuff. So that's really what's going on, man. Yeah, I definitely just saw Flex Alexander on the Art of Dialogue, and Art got straight to the Michael Jackson movie immediately. On part two, he went straight for the juggler for the Michael Jackson movie. I saw he went straight to. I thought he was gonna wait until later in the interview to get to the Michael Jackson movie. He went straight to that when he was interviewing Flex. Um, Let me see. Talking to Grub and Media said, and those dudes want their marriage to fail. They keep saying if their marriage won't work, Sierra will go back to dudes like Future, Bow Wow, and 50 Cent. A lot of these, again, these dudes be weird. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Again, people be having these parasocial relationships with these entertainers and rappers. Like, I remember this. I'm a Pac fan, but I will never forget when Big Gipp says that if if Pac was alive, Beyonce wouldn't be with Jay-Z. She would be with Pac. Do you know how weird that shit is, dog? Why are you like, what are you talking about? Like, this sounds weird. Like, is that who you would want to be with if you was a girl? Like, and I respect Gift, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Goody Mob fan, but that was weird as hell. You know, so it's like, what the fuck? So if you was a girl, you would pick. If you remember Gibbs saying that, if you was a girl, you would pick Future and not Russell Wilson. What the fuck? Like, what are we getting at as men, dog? Like, come on, fam. Yeah, man. Like, what are we getting at as men? That is some weird babble, some weird conversations. Like, come on, man. That man really said if another man was still alive, if Pac was still alive, that man's wife wouldn't be with him. She'd be with Pac. She wouldn't be with Jay. She would be with Pac. How the hell do you know that, Gip? As a Goody Mob fan, yeah, that's weird. What are you talking about? Like, and it's a lot of dudes that feel like that. If I was a girl, I would want to be. If I was a girl, I would want to be with Future instead of Russell Wilson. Man, well, Pac had all the women and Jay-Z would have had sex. Oh, that's weird, bro. You don't know what Beyonce type is. Beyonce probably don't even want. Pac was a very chaotic individual. As big of a fan as I'm a huge fan of Pac, he was way too emotional. Way too emotional. Very chaotic with a lot of that stuff. She don't want all that shit around her. You seen when Jigga started cutting ties with the chaos, with all the chaos. It be like, hey, he started cutting ties with that shit. When he got serious with Beyonce, he started cutting ties with certain chaos, certain chaotic elements. So yeah, man, like yeah, I'm right, Zero. I'm not worried about no man getting no women but me. Man, how am I? Come on, man. Coming across the guy who bought a weight into the cookout by saying, no, and I'm saying, and that's why I said, so certain people look at him like that because he didn't grow up in an inner city community with, and his swagger was not that of an inner city black man. Yeah, Russell was dating white women before he was with Sierra, but that ain't why they mad though, Black Maul. Me and you look at, okay, yeah, now Sierra, I do believe Sierra ingratiated him within the black community more 100% because Russ went to school around black folks. I mean, Russ went to school with white people. He didn't grow up around. He didn't live amongst black people. He lived amongst white people. He went to school amongst white people. At all turns, he did. So yes, Sierra ingratiated him into the black community more. This black girl from Atlanta, Georgia, right? He started to he started to become publicized across black press and black media when he got with Sierra 100%, right? But that ain't why them street dudes ain't mad at none of that shit at all. They mad at the fact that how could a guy like Russell Wilson get the same girl that Future had? If I was a girl, if I was a girl, I would like Future and not Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Yeah, Sierra gave him sauce 100%. I can tell you this. Shit. Barack Obama got credibility from Michelle. I'm gonna tell you right now. Barack Obama wouldn't have, I mean, I think people would have been excited for him being president. But I'm telling you, Barack got a lot of legitimacy from him coming to Chicago. He don't claim Honolulu, Hawaii. He don't claim Hawaii. He claims Chicago because he was working and living on the south side of Chicago. But when he got with that black woman, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson from the south side of Chicago, yeah, she gave him that sauce. She gave him that flavor she made him stick within the black community. Your girl, your wife named Michelle LaVaughn Robinson. That's a black ass name. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, black as hell. You know what I'm saying? She gave him credibility within our community for real. So she gave him that sauce. Like you said, Charlie. And he picked that up and said, I'm running with the ball with it, man. 100%. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but it is the truth. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So yeah, man. Ah, a lot of dudes. You saying if I was a girl, that's how they be. That's how they be thinking. A lot of dudes be. They be mad. They be mad because like, oh, Sierra dating. How could Russell Wilson have a girl that Future had? So their mind automatically go. Their mind automatically goes to if I was a girl, I would like I would like Pluto and not Russell Wilson. Well, goddamn, brother. Say you got a crush on this Negro at this point. Say you got a crush on dude. But yeah, when Gibson, I don't care. I always remember that. When that man Gibbs said if Pac was alive, it's the exact same thing with Clay and Megan. Talk about it, bro. It's the exact same thing. Mars coming at Clay saying all type of stuff about his girl. If this was Draymond Green, girl, Mars wouldn't be making all these comments about, oh, he whipped over some pussy. Oh, why are you talking? You calling this talking about this man, woman, calling her a piece of pussy, right? Because you feel like Clay ain't gonna do nothing to you, right? And you feel like, oh, Clay corny. Clay grew up amongst white folks. His mama white, all of that. So you can feel like you can say certain stuff and say certain wild comments, right? If this was Zach Randolph, girl, if this was Zach Randolph, like you said, bro, if this was Zach Randolph, this Zebo girl, Tony Allen girl, Mars is watching their mouth. And Mars is really watching what they saying because they know this could be detrimental to your health, brother. You feel me? You could have to go, you might have to see you might have to take that ER visit. It might be on that type of time. But they feel like, oh, Clay, he light skinned, he ain't finna do nothing. His mama white. His daddy light skinned, black a little bit. His daddy ain't the dark skinned brother. You feel me? He ain't grow up in the fold where we grew up at. So I can pull this because he a corny dude. Yeah. He the corny biracial dude. I can pull this with him. You feel? So they saying certain comments that they wouldn't say any other time because, oh, this Klay Thompson, I ain't worried about it. That's what I don't like. Like me, bro, I'm the type of man, as a man, I don't want you saying nothing to me that you wouldn't say to that Negro over there. Don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me that you wouldn't say to that Negro over there. I'm corny to somebody, but guess what, Baba Tunde? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I could be corny to anybody. I don't care. Because guess what? It ain't making or breaking my life at all. And yeah, that's why John Moran tried to pull that with him, pulling his hand in his face. Bro, you put your finger in another man's face, he got the right to steal off you. You know what I mean? No, Russell Wilson, mama black. I'm talking about Klay Thompson. You kind of, you know what I'm saying? You probably caught me at the wrong point. We talking about Klay Thompson right now. Russell Wilson, both of Russell Wilson parents, he don't got no white parent at all. Russell Wilson mom is black. Yes, I know that. I'm talking about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, mama white. You know, so Yeah, that's why they pull it with Clay. It's not just future better. No, Black Mall, Black Mall. Them Negroes don't care nothing about that, bro. These is hood Negro. They not looking into no into no thinking like on that level. Like you thinking from it like that, Black Mall. These dudes, like, have you seen Trevone Boykin? He ain't thinking on that type of level, bro, at all. He's just that if he was a girl, he would be with Pluto and not Russell Wilson. Black women aren't only supposed to be attracted to black men from the inner city. Black folks aren't a monolith. A lot of our people just don't get that. Yeah, like you can like whatever type of black man you want to like. Or as a black man, you can like whatever type of black woman you want to like. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta like a black woman that's from the inner city of Chicago like me. I can like a black woman that's from the rural parts of the South. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson went pro in baseball and football. Yeah, man. Like I tell y'all, hold on, y'all. Who is this texting me? Hold on. Yeah, like my son's mother is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. She not from nowhere near Chicago, Illinois at all. Said Russell Wilson is no different than Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey. Barry Bonds wasn't hood at all. Ken Griffey not hood at all. No, they not. They not. Now, Griffey, his swagger was a little bit, his swagger per se, his image was a little bit inner city though. He wasn't hood, but the swagger, they seen the chains on with the hat backwards. People can identify that with a little bit inner city a little bit, but he wasn't hood at all. You know? Yeah, man. That's why Griffey seen racism in MLB against his dad. That's why Griffey moved Miller. I mean, he probably learned it from his father. Yeah, like sometimes you become that way when you see how your father is. Right, but when you first black woman is someone who is a baby mama from the hood, that's a culture, someone I'm sure Russell Wilson wouldn't dare associate with growing up. I have to question your motives. Well, I mean, like, again, I don't. Sometimes people end up liking who they like in Black Mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen him fetishize her or whatever, any type of way or nothing, and in a public manner at all. Sierra is a military kid. She is a military kid, for sure. So I don't know though. Yeah, Russell Wilson's grandfather was the president of HBCU, for real. But Russ himself did not grow up around. He did not grow up. Russ didn't grow up in a black environment. He didn't go to schools in black environments at all. You know what I mean? Either. So I think Russ got a little bit more. He got more ingratiated with the black community um, through his marriage with Sierra. Because again, and that's what happens, man, when black parents, a lot of times black people, we get money, we take ourselves and our children away from black people. Um, we take our parents and I looked up the town where Russell Wilson from, Babatunde. I looked up the high school he went to. The percentage of black kids in his high school was like 7%, bro. That is very small. Like, I don't like that is a small, my high school, Morgan Park in Chicago, Morgan Park, like 99% black. Now, Morgan Park was a place that you could see that black people are not monolithic at all. But I do think, what I'm saying, he did grow up he went to an area, he went to school with nothing, with a whole bunch of white kids. He was living in the area with a whole bunch of white kids. And that's what happened with when black people get money, a lot of times we leave from around areas with other black folks. And a lot of times it have you, it does, you don't become ingrained with black culture a lot of times because you're around nothing but non-black people. There's people who grew up in the hood in the culture and still don't associate with those people growing up. How do you know Russell wouldn't have associated with Sierra? Yeah, like, man, a lot of times, like I said, he was dating what was around in his environment, you know. So that's why I rock with Dion. He made his kids go back and live in the community for a bit. His kids. Now that's true, so you can be more ingrained with black culture, etc. Which is why they never lost. They never they never lost favor with black folks because they was always ingrained in the black community, But yeah, man. Remember what I said jokingly about Candace Owens? She just never been anybody's boo. Sometimes black like Russell Wilson and Candace can win us over if they date the right person, especially. But I mean, now that is true. That is true. That happens a lot, Black Mall, where certain people can win black people over by who they date. Now that is true. Now, and I will say this, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I do believe that Russ growing up in that white environment, I do believe Russ growing up in that white environment had him. There are a lot of black people in Richmond, Virginia, but like the area he grew up in, though, it was not a black environment, though. The community he grew up in. I believe I looked up the area where he grew up in. It wasn't a black environment, and he went to a predominantly white school. So I'm gonna bring this up though. A lot of people don't like when I mention this. Now, y'all know when Colin Kaepernick initially started his protest, Russell Wilson was not standing in solidarity initially, right? Initially, I think and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think he wasn't really in tune with certain stuff within black culture, and he wasn't really in tune like that because of the fact that him growing up around white folks, for real. And sometimes, sometimes the person that you date can bring you into the fold a little bit more. You know what I mean? So when you come into the money, get the F away from the hood. But Calvin, black people don't only live in hood environments either. I want people to understand it's other places where black people live. Like Chicago got affluent places, areas where black people live at. You can live in Hyde Park. That's not the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of going all the way out to the super far suburbs, be around your people though. Because sometimes that does a number on kids when they not seeing they people, when they in school with nothing but like white kids. They don't see no black people around. They in school with nothing but white kids, nothing but white teachers. It does a number on them sometimes, right? And I'm gonna make a point, right? A friend of mine speaks about her experience in a predominantly white school. She's talked to me about this. When we was at school, she talked to me about it, right? Um, at a predominantly white school. She in a predominantly white school during the time that Trayvon Martin has his life taken from him by George Zimmerman, right? She's in these white schools when Barack Obama becomes president. Her teacher was going around telling people, her white teacher was going around telling people that Barack Obama was the Antichrist and he was going to take her baby out of her stomach, right? This is what this white teacher in this predominantly white Catholic school was saying, right? Now, when Trayvon Martin had his life taken from him by George Zimmerman in that same school, she spoke about people saying Trayvon had to have done something for George Zimmerman to take his life. He had to have done something for his life to be taken away from him, right? And the teachers were in agreement. And when you're in an environment with that shit around you, when it's just all these macro and microaggressions against black folks, and you don't have a community of black people to turn to, that can do a number on you, which can either have you be subservient to that type of environment, to that energy, or have you rebelling and losing your mind in that shit. Either or. So when that's going on, like, it can do a number on people. That's why I'm telling you, like, hey, if you're gonna have your kids in the best schools, try to see if the school got a little mixed environment at least. Not where your kid is one of 10 black kids in the school. Like, and that's it. Try to see if it's a little mixed a little bit. Like, damn. Yeah, there you go. When something happens to white people, they ask, who did it? When something happens to black people, they ask, what did they do? What did they do for that to happen to them? What did they do? They had to have done something. They had to have done. They have to committed some type of atrocity for that to happen to them. Exactly. Once you get that bag, get away from those who still have hood mentality. Man, listen. And you get that bag a lot of times, you can still go in these all white environments and they still look at you like, Negro, you don't belong. And they will still find a way to land you up in some trouble too. So, hey, you can go work both ways. You said, or send them to a very Afrocentric after school program. That's still gonna be bad because even if you in an after school program, you in a school where you know people is saying Trayvon Martin had to have done something for him to have got unalive. And Barack Obama is the Antichrist. So when all this is I can only imagine being a black kid at the time that Colin Kaepernick took a knee in a predominantly white school. Just imagine black kids like well, George Floyd, that happened. That was during the time when we were having a COVID. We were out of school for COVID and stuff like that. You know, said me, a former Chicagoan from the South Side. Shout out Chicago, South Side. I'm South Side too. Me, a former Chicagoan from the South Side, moving to predominantly white Northern Virginia. Lots of microaggressions. Yeah, man, it be around you. A lot of microaggressions, and it ain't no way for you to escape it. There ain't no way for you to escape it. Sometimes it's not. Like it be some macro and microaggressions. Yeah, you see Baba Tunde in here rambling, rambling, boy, scraping and scrambling, Shelton. But yeah, though I do think that I think Sierra has ingratiated Russ into into black community a lot more, and I think he's become aware of certain things being with her and being around her people. Because sometimes, again, I think going to schools are predominantly white can do a number on people. He said, long 19th of Cottage Grove, long time ago. I'm way older than you. It's all love, man. Chicago in the building, man. Chicago is Chicago. Um, Black Mall say, I have been around white people when the OJ story happened in 94, man. I got my reality check on how race works then. My white teacher was clearly bothered by that verdict. She ready to snap. You said 91st in college, like 19th, 91st in Cottage. Oh, shout out to 91st in Cottage. I used to live right off 87th in Cottage. Right in China, right off 87th in Cottage. I used to live right over there. That's when they had the Target over there. Walgreens still over there though. Probably laid up with a snow bunny. Oh, You right, man. Going from high school to predominantly white institution was a huge culture check. I always came back home whenever I could. Yeah, it can. Like, I think it can do something to you, especially when you're making friends in these environments. And I think subconsciously, sometimes you can water down certain black thoughts you have because your friends are non-black. And subconsciously, you don't want to offend them, right? So you start becoming desensitized to things like if they saying that Trayvon Martin had to have done something for him to have his life taken away from him. You start caving into that because you don't, or you start taking these neutral stances when you should be standing in solidarity with black people because you don't want to offend your white friends that you got at school. You don't want to offend your non-black friends you got, because if you in an environment, sometimes you may not have another black person to lean on and go to back up your argument. So you just start just letting stuff ride and letting microaggressions and macroaggressions slide because you feel like I don't got no support in these environments. It can happen, you know? So, and listen, I'm not faulting anybody for going to the schools that they go to. Like, you got to go where you got to go a lot of times. But I think if your child is in a predominantly white school where they only a handful of black people, you're gonna have to uh you're gonna have to keep your kid ingrained in black culture and all of that. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, man. You got to go. It said Trevone Boykin is a hoe. What man goes in on another man's home to judge and complete? Yeah, I think that's corny as ever, bro. Like, when a man invites you into his home, hey, he's expecting you yo, show respect to my family. I had to get him up out of here. He was getting way too ridiculous. Like, it was getting annoying. He came in here strictly to troll, came in here strictly to be a nuisance, came in here strictly to be a pest. That's it. He probably got another backup channel to come on here. That's what be happening. I didn't block dudes and they got a backup channel. They come right on and come up in here. Yeah. Charlie X is crazy. No, like, yeah, like he came in. I didn't block people though. They got another backup page. He might got a backup page and pop right back up in here talking crazy. If I see another page come in talking crazy, block. Get up out of here. It get too crazy. But yeah, man, I do think it's just disrespectful. But yeah, man, if you saw what I said, my cousin did leave the inner city, but her kids are still ingrained in black culture, 100%. Right? Like 100%. But I just think that you can end up believing it's you said you can end up believing it's the blacks in the hood fault that they're in that situation. I'm speaking on someone who made it to the birds from the hood. I had to be awakened from my self-hate slumber. So you can end up believing, right. Now, that also happens to you as well. When you in these environments with non-black people and they start viewing you as the good black, right? And they say stuff like, I got told this. When I was 24 and I was working in corporate America, I had a guy tell me, it's all in my face. I had a guy tell me, uh, hold on. I had a guy tell me, well, Malcolm, you got your bachelor's degree, don't you? And I say, yeah. And he said, see, um, hold on, my fault. He said, see, you did it. You hate, see, you went and got your degree. See, that was a way to say, why didn't these other Negroes get their degrees like you? Why didn't these other Negroes go to college and get a master's degree like you? And I say, hold on, I had to check them and say, wait a minute. I had a lot of things go right in my life for that to happen for me. I'm not from, hold on, y'all. My fault, y'all. On 1 second, 1 second. I had to say, I had a lot of stuff in my life go right for me. I'm not from a affluent community at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had homies, I had friends that did not have parents who that knew to send me to a school outside of my area. I did not go in my school. I did not go to my neighborhood school at all. I never went to my neighborhood schools. None. I went to a magnet school. Now, my magnet school was in the hood. It was in the hood. Um, look at this person. My magnet school was in the hood, but I had to test to get into the school, and it was a school where we were learning all different type of languages. It was a really great school, but some people don't even know about some of these schools or don't even know how to get their kids into these schools. You know what I'm saying? I tested into the magnet school that I went to at 5 years old. And then because I tested into the school, they had like a sibling clause that if one child is in the school, their sibling automatically gets in. So my older sister who was at another school, she got in because I tested in, and then she got in with me. Not saying that she couldn't, she was smart enough to test into the school too. But my mom had to, only reason my mama knew about the school is because my grandmother used to substitute teach at the school, right? So a lot of stuff had to work well for me to even be able to go to this school. You know what I'm saying? I had to be living within the range, within the address range for the bus to come pick us up. You know, had to test into the school, I had to know about the school, all of that. Like, come on, man. But he tried to pull that with me. See, you went and got your master's degree. See, see, you know, AW1, what's happening with you, boss? What's happening with you? So yeah, it's a lot of that that be going on. And yeah, white people annoy and bother the F out of you, flexibility. They don't. I just call out BS when I hear it. I'm not afraid to call out BS. I don't stand idly by while BS is happening and just let it ride. I don't let it go over my shoulder, man. I don't let it go over my shoulder. Oh, it doesn't bother me. I let it go over my shoulder, man. I'm not one of them black people that says, just let it go over my shoulder. Hey, man, just let it ride. I let racism fly over my shoulder, man. It just doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. It's okay with me, man. Hey, man, just take the high road. I don't take the high road on racism. When they go low, I go lower. You like talking about it. I do, brother. I do like talking about it. And this is my channel, brother, which means I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, brother. Come on, St. Louis, Missouri. You know better than that, St. Louis. Yeah, I have an issue with white supremacy, not white people, 100%. I have an issue with white supremacy, not white people. So yeah, when I see some BS, I'm not going to just be, it's okay, man. Bro, I know you ain't mad about that Tony Ayo video up in here. Yayo, is this you up in here? I was eating, 50 had me eating pterodactyl arm in Toronto. 50 had me in Battery Park drinking flavored battery acid. I was in Battery Park. I was in Battery Park eating boiled beavers in Battery Park. I'm not trying to sound like Yayo. Yayo be wilding in the interviews, though. I was eating dinosaur egg rolls with Jimmy Iovine and Eminem. Thank you, 50. Thank you, 50. Shout out to 50. Thank you, 50. I'm on the phone with my kids, and 50 called me. I tell them, bye. I got to talk to your real daddy right now. Thank you, 50. That motherfucker be saying anything. I was eating mastodon in the Mediterranean Sea. Shout out to 50. Who was the better hype man? Yayo, Spliff Star, Flavor. If I gotta go with Flavor Flav. Hey man, but hey, Spliff Star was holding Bus down though. 50 had me swimming in Little Mermaid. No woman in my life is more important than 50. And more important than 50. Including my mother. My mama know. If 50 called me, I got to get off this phone. You ain't more important than 50, mama. That mother just be saying all type of stuff. You like, what? I ate a fried bullet in Beirut. Thanks to 50. He be eating all type of stuff. Hey, brother, you mad as hell, brother. You mad as hell. You mad than the mother. Brother, is you an honorary member of G Unit? Yeah, you must be the mascot, brother. You must be the mascot 100% because you ready to ride and die about this here. It ain't that serious, brother. Yayo don't know you. Yayo don't want no hug from you. You not 50. So Yayo don't care about you. Hey, Memphis Bleak be like the big homie. The big homie had me eating. the big homie had me eating a Pokemon in Pakistan. The big homie. Yo, it was the big homie. Jay told me. He don't got no Beyonce tickets for me. He don't got no Beyonce tickets for me. So the big homie, I had to listen to the big homie said I could have his house. He said I could have it. And then when I was about to move in, the big homie told me, never mind. He need that about me. He reneged on the house. The big homie told me he changed his mind, and I had to honor what the big homie said. Bleak always calling him the big homie. Hey, no. Bleak just told a story about how Jay told him he could move into his house that he had, right? And Bleak was about to get ready to move into the house. Then Jay told him, never mind, I need that. I need that. Like, brother, what? Don't once you say it's mine, don't do that to me. When 50 said, man, my homies, they won't do whatever I won't do. They say I won't eat. They say I won't eat. I say I won't eat. They say shit, we won't eat too. Yayo definitely on that. He don't know you either, nigga, or care about you. So why you hating doing this channel so you can do these Yayo things? Man, shut up, bro. You get on my nerves. Now you gonna hear crying and shit, crying and moaning and all that damn bitching and whining. You better get that shit on somewhere before I get on your all this crying you on here doing. Golly. Yeah, I like a lot of their joints. Just because I like their music don't mean I gotta agree with everything they saying. Yeah, I think 50 is a messed up individual. I like the TV shows he got, and I love the albums. I do think he do a lot of effed up stuff. So two things could be true, brother. Yayo got a song called Dear Susie, Dear Sue, and Pimpin'. What? Pimpin' is my joint. I don't love you be loving cause baby I'm pimping. That was my joint. That man said if 50 can't get none, I ain't speaking. Girl, I ain't speaking. Girl, I ain't speaking. I said the banks can't get none. I ain't speaking. Girl, I ain't speaking. All right, but that's going too far. I guess that was his version of it ain't no fun, you know. Okay, I take it all back since you F with that song. Hey, bro, get up out of here with that. Golly. People believe their favorite artist or celebrity isn't the fuck. What Yayo say, dear Susie, I appreciate the fan mail. Dear Susie, I read your letters locked up in my cell. Dear Susie, I see you know I'm a star in jail. That's my joy. Mm. You only writing letters because I'm headed to the riches, and I'm only writing letters because your head game vicious. What's today's date? And today's time. Sit up, push ups, and write a new rhyme. That was my little joint. I ain't gonna lie. But Yayo still be on that his mind. He still be that brother be talking about he was eating anteater arm in Battery Park. You feel me? That brother say he ate a raptor in Romania. You a fan like an MF? I like the music. St. Louis, Missouri. I know you a Hitman Holler fan. You be hollering ball game everywhere you go. I can look at your avatar. There's you be hollering ball game. What did Hitman Holler say, brother? My brother was over there eating that eating that triceratops triceratops tail with Yayo. Did you hear about those white guys from Fort Worth, Texas? Which one's the one that tried to? Hold on, the one that tried to take over. What? Hold on, who are you talking about? I'm trying to see who you talking about. You mad because you love Bleak and Yayo on the low? I like certain songs from them, though, brother. You love those brothers. Them your cousins. Them is your cousins, brother. Well, Derrick Rose from my hometown of Chicago. Who is the? Of course, Derrick is better at hooping than me. At hopping, yeah, hopping than me. You got to spell a little better than that, brother. You got to spell a little better than that. Yeah, I did see they wanted to take over an island in Haiti and unalive all the men and use the women and children as slaves. Yeah, I faintly saw that story, and I'm gonna cover it still and go look because that is some demonic evil stuff there. How the hell they thought them two was gonna do that? You got your goddamn mind. All the women. I know you're saying, yeah, y'all thought y'all too was gonna do all this. Some of flexibility just talking. Come on, holla. This Hitman holla up in here. I'm convinced. Ball game. Hey, Hitman holla. Do he still go with that girl Cinnamon? Years ago, I followed Cinnamon on Instagram, and Cinnamon followed me back on Instagram. This is before she was with Hitman holla. And I see he with Cinnamon. Yeah, he said they saw that the Black nation was going through issues and felt like they were the perfect target. Yeah. what? What did you just call Holla? You called Holla the gum bumper? Yeah, that wasn't gonna fly. You think y'all two is finna get? Yeah, despair is vile and despicable though. If that's what their plans were for the country, now are you? You sure be listening to me talk though, brother. You say I bump my gums a lot, but you sure come through here. You sure come through here and watch. It's so demonic, but I don't think it wouldn't have went well for them at all. But it's very demonic, very disgusting. that that was the plans that they had for Haiti. You know, very disgusting all the way around. I agree with you, bro. I'm gonna do a video on it though. Haiti, the last place to try that at. History can repeat itself. Oh yeah, 100%. Haiti ain't playing over there, man. We seen Tucson Louverture. Tucson say, hell no, this ain't happening. I always remember when I was a kid, I read this small book about Tucson Louverture, and I thought that book was great. Yeah, that's what I'm knowing. Yeah. But hey, y'all, man, I'm finna get off this thing real quick, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later. And he said, hey man, holla got them Buddy Hill teeth. Hey, y'all, you like crazy, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Talk to y'all in a minute. Peace.